Answered
Yeah.
questions are worse than answered ones.
Okay.
How toxic there.
Okay, I was reading chat on that VOD, and he said it's awkward. Payoff is different from ramen. What do you mean by that?
Just the way you play is
It's a different play style,
probably.
is what
Yeah,
I mean.
it's a very different play style.
The team.
We're not used to it.
Okay, let me answer. The team very much relied on ramen when it came to comms and stuff like that, but I'm trying to teach them to not rely on one person to do all of the comms. Instead, they all need to participate. They all need to step up. And out of everyone, Chat's the one who stepped up the most, and he's getting frustrated with how much he's done. Nothing I was saying in chat, it was meant to be toxic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's just hit play. Let's check some things out here.
Time to eat dinner while we do a VOD review.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Alright, I'm gonna take a break from writing.
It'd be like,
Oh god, what is it's lagging?
We've probably got to get bottom right.
No, I'm
Are you
skipping.
sorted?
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, why am I skipping frames?
Oh, hey, Ark.
Is this a good place to hold, or should we hold it close if you're like, the corner statue?
Holding close doesn't give you a whole lot of options.
Yeah, but we can always like speed out. You know, we have that speed that where they are right now. We could be holding close there and take a quick fight. Not a quick fight, but like poke.
Why?
I don't know.
We'd be
What's the
taking
value from
unnecessary
it?
damage.
Not sure. I guess Ark doesn't have a light sideline at that point, so it's not worth it.
This is a nice defensible position. There's a wall that you can use. However, I absolutely hate this fucking box here because it literally gets Nathan killed. You're not gonna see him get killed because of it, but he dies because of it. So what happens here is the entire enemy team all hit Nathan at the exact same time when he's trying to wrap around.
Yeah, that's right. And he got right clicked or something by Zen. On top of like everyone else bursting him.
Right. Yeah.
Oh shit!
It was when I tabbed him.
Oh my god.
Wow. Okay, yeah, he just got destroyed.
What happened there? That's not a okay. He just got destroyed. It's the same thing that Payoff was doing on Ruins on Ilios when he was trying to swing around a corner. He wasn't shielding at all during that duration. He was just kind of playing this corner back and forth, getting demolished because he wasn't shielding any of the damage that was coming in. He was relying on his team to pour resources into him, and when those resources ran out because they are finite, he ended up just dying because they couldn't keep up with it.
Stabilize point. I'm on random.
And that call, I hate that call. It's everyone does it. Chat did it the most this series. Everyone has done it every other series, but everyone calls stabilize point.
Okay,
and that's not a call.
I don't hear any of the comms from this.
Double click the volume button.
It auto mute you.
I have it on like high. I know. Let's keep trying. We'll see what happens.
I can definitely hear them. So.
All right, we'll see then.
All right. So yeah, now you hear comms because you clicked it twice. So the call here is we lost someone.
Oh my god. Okay. Wow. Just stabilize point.
We lost someone, and they flood onto point, and then the call is to stabilize point. You can't do that. You're in a team fight. You have to attack things instead of calling to stabilize. You need to be calling a target. You'd be like reinforcing Rhine, so your entire fucking team turns and hits the Rhine, so you have a chance of trading and coming through this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're down a person, you can't stabilize if they're gonna push in on you. Also, why the fuck is that over here?
Good point.
He
was behind Ryan for a while, and then he kind of got caught out.
It's true. Yes. There's a spray on the ground above Eagles here, and it really just looks like the fucking Chevy symbol to me. So Sad being over here, I really don't like seeing him over here. the rest of the team, everyone on the team is different ideas. Half the time. Different. Okay, so I really don't like to see this because half the time when you guys decide to fall back or end a team fight, half of your team will int into them, and half of the team will back up and get staggered. Everyone needs to make the same decision. If you
Just
guys
all
think,
int.
yeah, everyone go all in on a target, all in on a target. Pick this target. Pick this target. Pick this target. Get a trade. Do something. Everyone needs to go all in on it. Otherwise, you guys are going to be split. You're going to be staggered, and they're just going to walk right through you, which is exactly what happens here. You're split. You're everywhere.
I had a hypothetical. So
What?
say you're playing like I have a hypothetical question. So say you're playing like control point, right? Like Li Jiang, and you lose your Rhine early fight before the point even opens up. Does that mean, back up, get your Rhine back, and then let them cap and then go in, or everyone go in and at least try to, just brawl it out?
I'm not going to answer that because we're not on a control center point and the situation isn't going on. I'm going to stick to the VOD and what's going on hand. I can answer that afterwards when we're done. I want to get through as much of this as we can, though, okay?
Somber back, Somber left side. No.
So this, everyone is just split.
Alright, we just Somber's one on point.
Sad is polluting comms with random things. I mean, we're saying Ryan Discord, Ryan and Ryan.
Brig is one.
Ryan's half, Ryan's nice. Somber back, Somber left side. No.
Okay, so Sad took over comms there, which is good, and he started calling targets, which is fine. But the second Sad, and that doesn't matter in that situation. In that situation, you're down 2 people and a mech. It's really just kill whoever the fuck you can at that point. You're not going to win this fight. You're just trying to get a hold onto the fight. Hitting the highest HP target is not the greatest choice. You really need to just hit whatever is closest to you, lowest HP. You're most likely to kill. I'm not gonna flame anyone for trying to call the Somber here at all because she's 200 HP target. She's doing a lot of damage. It's a decent target to hit. Granted, she probably does have an escape of some kind, but it's still a good target to hit because it's any target. It's something being called. But Sad, I want to point out that after you die, you talk a lot here. Listen.
Alright, we just Somber's one on point.
Maybe not a lot, but you're still talking. Don't need to be. Knave, you need to be talking more in the middle of this fight. I haven't heard you say anything for a little while. Chat has been doing all of the talking. Arc wasn't doing much talking either that I could hear. I need to turn him up in Discord because sometimes he is so quiet I cannot hear what he is saying at all. But I need more people repeating a target name during fights like this.
That's my fault. I got bursted out of
I really don't like to see that remake from chat there because it's stalling the time, but it's just you're dead. Anyways, you're dead anyway in that point. There's absolutely no reason for him to remake there. So you guys are all grouped here. Take a look at what's going on here. They just capped the point. What you can see in front of you right now, you guys are all within this area. You guys could be tighter, could be more grouped than this. But what you can see in front of you right now is 2 people. We really need to be seeing situations like this and going, I see 2 people. We need to go hard now because they're split. Because then you can take the advantage, get on this wall here and play this corner like you were before. You can do that. But you need to see these advantages and take them and go hard and go fast. Instead, we sit here, we stall, we talk poorly about ults. We said that fight was a pretty quick fight, so they didn't charge many ultimates. But they charged 3 of their ultimates or 4 of their ultimates and used 1 of their ultimate. So we really need to recognize how long the fights are lasting. And in this situation, when chat uncloaks the Somber, he needs to uncloak her, realize where she is, realize she has no mobility to get up close, and go, she's not in the fight, go hard, go fast. Because unless she uses her translocator to jump over, she literally has to walk around or wait for her invis to come off cooldown, and that takes time, whereas the rest of the team could passive speed into their team.
Yep, she's half.
second. They're not engaging. I need the Sombra's. Okay, she translates.
So they're not engaging here. There's a reason they're not engaging. It's because none of them are grouped. They weren't together. Now they are. That payload's coming around the corner. Their entire team is going to be peeking around that corner. They're engaging now. We are split. Nathan is up here. The rest of the team is way back here. The rest of the team needs to recognize that Nathan is moving up. Nathan needs to call that he is moving up as the main tank. Call that he is taking the corner. We need to decloak the Sombra way back here and then say fucker and move on and go forward. If the Sombra is within range to do damage or kill or apply too much pressure, you can peel as the diva, but we need to just be decloaking her, seeing where she is, and then pushing on the rest of the team.
Yeah, she charged EMP off of me.
Because Nathan is so split,
I got charged out.
the rest of the team, or they grab Nathan and then they push through the rest of the team.
Let's take a fight before they even get a chance.
Pressuring, break. Focus, break.
Okay?
Huge.
We got one. Big trans.
We stop talking. There's a lapse in comms, lapse in talking. Okay, we're calling good targets. They DC again here.
Yeah.
So he can't shatter. Yeah. Lucio up above.
I don't have
He's
double.
got him. Pressure.
We can get aggressive.
Yeah, if you saw what Nathan did there, right?
I'm sorry, I wasn't looking. I was putting away something.
You could pay attention.
Bomb here. Hold up
Okay.
shield when we grab.
So
So he can't
they get the
shatter.
boop on Nathan over to the right, and he immediately jumps back over to the left so he can shield in front of his team. Nathan is very concerned about what is going on behind him. It's because I talked to them a little bit about I think when he was scrim time for us on main tank. It's you
Okay.
always have to be concerned with where your team is and what corner your team is holding. Here they are
Okay.
holding the left, so they really want to stay on that left side. Just be mindful of that.
Okay.
And they DC again. This is just
Is it
a
break
shitty,
DCs?
yeah, shitty stagger fight.
Right, so,
Yeah.
I don't
try to
okay.
It's more still pressuring.
Just not
Get the run here. Okay, Ren's up forward.
How's that position on the right though? For
Okay,
me.
Hacked him.
okay.
That
Look
for
grab,
boop.
look for grab.
Yeah.
Call
So,
when you're
I mean, you two just kind of sat here and stared at each other.
Yeah.
You being there, recognize that if they have a Sombra, they know where you
You'll know
are
that. Yeah,
always. So you're not necessarily hiding here,
Mm-hmm.
but you're still in a position to boop the Reinhardt. You could either be there, or you could be dancing up here on this wall, on this
Yeah.
corner, chilling there, or you could be sitting here and just shooting into every single area to try and scout for her.
Mm-hmm.
Just always be shooting. If there's a Sombra, you need to be scouting.
Alright. I'll try to get the run here.
Okay, Ren's up forward.
Yeah, I'll try and bash him. Or okay, so I see
I'm hacked.
Okay.
Look for grab.
So, oh, skip forward to it.
Boop shatter first.
You're sitting there, Sombra comes around. What is chat doing?
Call when you're about to.
Chat's looking in the back still.
I'll try to get the run here. Okay, Ren's up forward.
Yeah, I'll try and bash him. Or okay, so I see
I'm hacked.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate
for grab,
timing for
look for
chat.
Yeah.
When was the last time Moose used a bubble?
I'll try to. Call when you're about to boop. I'll try to get the run here. Okay, Ren's up forward.
Yeah, I'll try and bash him. Or okay, so I see
I'm hacked.
So Moose had bubble there. He could have bubbled to stop that hack.
Yeah, he ended up using it here.
Maybe boop piece bubbled up.
It's value to use it to stop the hack.
Mhm.
You need to hide for
I missed the time here. I thought I got my shield turned towards her.
I'm back
Let me, go back to the hack.
Right? Going back.
Beating B.
Okay, so I see
Oh, I was just a little off.
Just a little slow on that.
Yeah.
Beating B.
break. Nice.
So here,
You need to hide for
I don't know about grabbing them there that close. Did we lose anyone? We're hacked. We're shattered. We
We had
trans.
I don't know why I was holding shield here after the grav. I just noticed that he shattered. I thought for some reason I was holding shield there because I thought he had shattered, but he shattered literally right before that.
Yeah. No,
I
it's
could have
fine.
been swinging into it.
It's fine. It's just little things like that. They also have a trance going on, and you don't need to swing into it because you have shatter. So there's no need for you to be swinging that. You're not going to get the kill on something in there because the rest of your team is goal at this point is to try and set up for the grab bomb, which means you can't die. You need to get your pin off. Is what needs to happen here.
Yeah.
Chat needs to come in and throw his bomb, but I think he ends up throwing it back here. I'm not sure what happens there. I wonder if his mouse bugged or something. Yeah, he threw it backwards behind. You saw it like zoom that way.
If we don't combo bomb, do you want me to charge into trans if they have it? Charge into the grab if they have trans.
No, I don't want you to charge into the. If you can't combo bomb, I don't want you to charge into it. I want you to get your shatter and try and shatter inside the trance or inside the
Okay.
grab, because
Okay.
you will likely go through the Rhine shield and hit at least 1 or 2 targets, and that target becomes the immediate kill because they're defenseless during that time.
If I can't see it, do I sidestep shatter? You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean can't see it?
So like it like grabs here, right? And Ryan shielding here. Do you want me to sidestep to go around and shatter? Or just
No, I
stay
want
main?
you to W into it and shatter.
Oh, okay. Makes
So
sense.
in that situation, if you walk up into his shield and you hit Q, you may not hit him, but you'll hit everybody else that is on the other side of it.
Yeah, okay.
By the way, is it still value if they're transing to like try to charge like the brig, for example? Like if I charge the brig and pin her against the wall, even
She
if she's
dies.
still in
She
trans?
dies, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I should.
It's value to do that, yes. But
Because like look
instead,
how close it is to the wall.
a short pin like that for sure. Try and take an angle like that and pin her out of it. For sure, do that. Because then you can turn around. You're still in that fight. You're still right there. You can still shatter at the end of it, or you could honestly just shatter while they're all still tranced and then pin. It's up to you.
Okay.
You need to hide for
Oh, I messed up.
Okay.
Oh, I did charge that.
Nice one.
Nice.
Sure.
I'm back
Sorry,
up, I'm back up.
You could shatter right there.
You need to hide for
Oh, I messed up.
So
Okay.
you pin their Rhine. You can turn and shatter his team there.
Oh yeah, true.
I know you're not a Rhine player, but just pointing it out. You can, if you pin and hold Q, you can shatter faster than he can put up his shield. But at that point, anyways, you're going to shatter to your right to hit his team instead of him, because you know that he just used his shatter, so you're not too worried about him using that. So instead, you can shatter his team that's sitting right here, and you will get Zarya. Trance is ending right now. You might get Brig, but you will get Lucio and Zarya for sure. Granted, your team backed way the fuck off. They're back here. That's just a miscommunication with your team. You went in further, and they backed off.
Okay.
Nice one. Pressure.
I'm back
Sorry,
up. Run.
Sorry, I just got.
Navy need to be a little bit quicker on the draw there. Or
No, I didn't farm it enough yet.
Okay.
I
So then
I
at
got
that
like a
point-
second late.
Yeah, I know you use a second late. It's hard to see here, but if you lose 2 people, it's not worth. Like, by the time you use it immediately. So you lost 1 person. It was traded. It was even. So that's a decent use. It's just unfortunate that we lost Nathan right then.
Yeah.
Now I just want to find you in this mess. Where are you?
I was back left. I was hiding.
Okay,
Yeah.
you
So
jumped.
Arcto, yeah.
So what you did is you were on this wall and then you jumped into the pit to try and ult. If
You
you
should have
had
dropped down instead.
if you had found a ledge or a rock somewhere closer to look for, or just let yourself drop straight down to the ground first, Moose might have gotten the shields from it.
Yeah.
Might have. I'm not certain on that. But
Yeah.
just make sure that you're not trying to ult from a high place when you have it.
Gotcha. Sorry, I just got.
Run behind.
Pushing Ryan. That's okay.
Walk forward.
Okay.
Yeah, we have. I'm happy in ping
Yeah, they use.
They've grab, I think.
I'm hacked.
So we rally into this. They rally into it.
You get
Targets,
shattered.
arcs on the ground.
Okay.
Swinging. Nathan is taking a lot of damage here.
Yeah, I
Awkward, you
get
turned your
hacked in
shield.
this fight here.
No, you
Oh
didn't.
yeah.
Or at the beginning.
You got
at
fire
least.
strikes
That's
on
why.
the
Sure.
map.
Yeah, at the beginning. That's why you got the shatter off.
Mm,
Oh, also,
mm,
and
mm.
I was not in position.
You back off to the side there. So the rest of the team, when that happens, we need to call. I'm hacked. Whatever. So the rest of the team, look at everyone's pathing here. So you come into this fight, and everyone 3 people go off to this side, 3 people stay in this area, and then Moose sits in the center. What needs to happen is the entire team needs to rotate together, be up each other's butts, especially since they have a Sombra. If they have a Sombra, that Zen needs to be playing inside of everyone. You need to rotate over onto this right side here and just sit. Spend time in there. So that if you get hacked like you did right now, you can rotate onto the inside. And you can kind of turtle up inside.
I'm hacked.
Okay.
Boop the ramp, boop the ramp.
I'm hacked.
Focusing.
Run south.
Break down. Okay.
Alright, on right now.
Sombra on the. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we lost our run.
Focus, no, I'm still run.
Can you tell? I'm gonna watch people's HP. Can you tell when you see a pack come out?
Look for a boop shatter.
They've grab, I think.
I'm hacked.
Two.
Boop the ramp, boop the ramp.
I'm hacked.
Okay, focusing.
No pack, no pack, no pack.
Okay.
Alright, on right now.
There should have been a. Oh, he got hacked. That's why he didn't get a pack out.
Okay. Oh, we lost
He should have packed earlier. He should have been
Yeah.
watching your HP, and the second you lose your armor, he packs you. No, he packed right there. Look at it. Watch. There. He packed
Yeah.
right before you took damage.
Yeah.
So sad. You need to be packing him right as he's about right there. Right when he loses his armor is when you need to pack him, because you're essentially packing him for 200 HP then, because the armor has that 50% damage reduction to an extent. Like the maximum value is 200 HP off of that for tickle damage. I really wish that there was like orbs and stuff that would be above people's names and portraits, so I could tell where people's orbs are. Because I'm pretty sure that Nathan had the orb this entire time, watching his
He did.
HP go down and go up.
That's
Yeah, I
it.
see it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
Alright, on right now.
Yeah, I see it too.
Yeah.
He just died with
He
it.
had it the whole time. Yeah.
Yep.
I was on heals too.
Sombra on the right. Sombra on the right.
Yep. He's just taking a lot of damage, which means that when you're taking that much damage, you need to just try and back off and just find some place that you can turtle up in. This is a really awkward area because there's no hard corners that you can turn around, but your entire team can sit in the future inside of here, and you can play out of there. So if you're standing about right here, you can test the payload.
Okay.
Because the distance is like 5 meters. So even at a corner, that's about a 5 meter gap right there. And if the payload gets right here, the 5 meter gap will be closer. So you can just play it like a first point Route 66, how a lot of teams will play a May and they'll sit inside that tunnel right there. You can play it similar to that, but with goats. That when something overextends to try and do damage to you, you run it over, kill it, go back to the point. Right?
Okay.
The more hard cover that your team can utilize on point, the better.
I have no idea.
Future reference, just a little thing here. As you're calling different targets in this fight, you killed the Reinhardt. The second the Reinhardt dies, the Zarya needs to be called. We're calling Brig. Chat's calling Brig. He lost her when he was looking around. But chat lost her. He was calling Brig, Brigging us, and he's like, where is she? But the Brig needs to not be the target there. While the Brig is annoying, as long as you guys are on your passive healing, the Brig has a hard time killing you guys. So, Nave, if you don't need doing anything, you can just have your passive healing on in fights like this. When a Rein is dead, you can just have your passive healing on, and really nobody should die with Brig healing and Lucio passive healing. So you can almost ignore the Brig and then focus the fuck out of the Zarya, because she needs to die, because she's just going to build her grab charge. So the second, look at how much grab charge she farms in between the Rein dying and her dying. Okay, so the Rein dies when she is at, see, there's Knave,
38.
there's Reader, she's at 40.
40.
All right, we're killing other things, killing other targets.
50.
At 55, she's at 60. That's 20% of her grabs. She's at
Almost 25 down.
70 now. She
30%.
got
Yeah, 30% ish.
30% because you guys didn't focus her second.
Definitely builds up another grab. Sombra's definitely gonna have EMP. He just. They've grabbed two.
So here, setting up for this
Actually,
fight.
Yeah, they did.
You guys are doing good about talking about your ults and stuff like that, but you guys really should be trying to set up here and taking this high ground.
Yeah.
You can set up over here and put your Zen. You can put your Zen like right here, and you guys can set up over here. You can pressure them and not give them this high ground advantage for free, and then your Zen can keep the payload in mind and watch for the somber back cap and stuff like that. But as long as you have somebody watching for it, it's okay to just set up high. All right.
High ground. Okay. Look for a ground bomb.
Fuck him up.
So they end up giving up their high ground. Look at how split you guys are here.
Okay, let's try to look for a ground bomb first.
So you've got Arc mid rotation. You've got Moose on high ground. Nathan, you're over here. Instead, Nathan, I'd like to see you down here with Knave and Sad. I'd like to see you sitting inside of this room here because they have to come past you. And then Zarya can throw right clicks down in here. You can get a free Discord. You can get free left clicks. Chat can spam damage into them as well. Chat, honestly, I'd prefer to see him up here instead of where he is down here on the ground. Oh, fuck me. Come on.
Ground bomb first.
Okay, yeah.
3, 2.
So instead of chat being on the ground down here, you're giving up a lot of space here. If you sit down here, they're going to flock to the Reinhardt most likely, especially if chat is up here. They're going to look at who can we kill, and it's, well, okay, well, it's a Brig, Lucio, and a Reinhardt in this tiny little room. The Lucio is there to speed you guys away if you need to. Zen can keep the Harmony on the Reinhardt. Thad can bash the enemy Reinhardt, can swing through all of them, do passive heal. Reinhardt can play the corner that's inside of this room, and you guys can you get every advantage of being a GOATS team while taking away advantages from them because you were turning their Rhines back from you. Sense?
2, 1. Ryan, focus, Ryan. Fuck him up. I'm grabbing.
Now it's very split all over the place. We have a Grav to unify it. We have a good bomb, good pin.
Break
Ryan dies to it.
I'm in a bad spot. Help me kill. Sorry.
Nice.
Oh, we did focus Arya after the Brig though.
Hmm.
So she was
I
third.
think the Brig. So where the Zarya was, it was
She's right behind
smarter.
her.
It was smarter for the team to focus the Brig in this case because of the distance that it would have taken them to all cross to get to the two different targets. The Brig is
If she
there.
was next.
Run her over, then go kill the Zarya.
Help me kill. Sorry.
And Nathan is just panicking, trying to stay alive.
He's one.
Oh, camp.
We can get him. He's nice.
Yeah, we cut off them. Yeah,
Nice.
cool.
Good shit.
Watch back. You hide for.
You guys back up. You're not setting up anymore. You're doing the same thing. Nathan, how naked did you feel standing there?
If I beat from up here, will it be you guys?
Yeah, that's probably not a good place to be.
Wherever we are.
Alright.
Yeah, we were just letting them get off the high ground and go right at us. We should have been up there.
Focus, Ryan.
I shattered. Focus break.
You know, in the future, you guys didn't talk about what else to do there, or if you did, you just didn't stick to the plan.
My shield's down.
I didn't get EMP. Okay, good.
Focus Zarya's pushed up.
That just jumps off the high ground.
I didn't get EMP.
Did he get booped by Soup?
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, he could have counter strafed to stay up there. I would have done that just to try and keep the high ground, and then you can just shoot at their Reinhardt the entire time.
Focus Zarya's pushed up.
I'm on Ryan. Oh, I'm dead. Damn it.
I got charged.
This is awkward. You guys get cleaned up.
Oh shit, I don't want to
Mhm.
die.
I got you. You're good.
I don't know.
Calls are made to use for
Oh
what?
shit, I don't want to die.
I got you. You're good.
That's comms when he's full HP.
We're good.
I don't want to die. I want to die. I want to die.
Wait, can you go back? I want to see how low he got.
What ult calls are
He was
made.
half.
Follow through.
Oh, he was okay. He did get kind of
Can you
low.
make sure we follow through with
Alright,
what
team.
ult calls are made.
What up,
to
Phileas?
use for
Oh
what?
shit, I don't want to die.
It's like a quarter HP.
Q.
So what have we gotten so far?
I don't know. We're good.
Halfway through the first map, almost halfway.
Okay.
Translate it out. Somber translate.
Play your thing,
Okay,
brother.
ready to engage?
Starting in space. Bubble me.
How do I make it?
Lucy's
Oh,
looking for boobs.
oh, look at me.
Back out.
She's half.
On the right. Okay.
Keep focusing using the Rhine shield. My
Yo,
my
they
shield's
don't
going
have
down.
bubble right now. They don't have bubble right now.
You just got rid of all
Rhine shield's broken. Rhine shield's broken. I'm not. I'm on the
This was
wrong
so
side of the door.
unfortunate, by the way. Look where I am.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get booped back in.
Yeah, Rhine's dead. Rhine's dead.
Can't hear you.
This
Stop.
It should be a lot tighter, I think.
Sad is just off in his own fucking world over here.
I think we should be tighter together.
You should be.
Like a lot tighter together.
Like I almost. It's really bad practice. But to get you guys in the mindset of playing together more, if your main tank gets graved, jump into the fucking grab with him. Be with him.
Your Reinhardt would do it for you, so you do it for your Reinhardt. Okay? It's not
I mean, just everyone's split. Because they grav here, we've got Zarya and Ark backing up. Ark might be holding W and M1. I'm not sure what he's doing here. Sad is over here. How?
They don't have bubble right now. They don't have bubble right now.
okay, I can draw with that
Rhine shield's
then.
broken. Rhine shield's broken.
Booped, and then he just goes in on the Zen.
I'm on the wrong side of the door.
He's just in on the Zen. He's all over the place. He bashes someone. He's swinging at everything. We kill the Rhine. And then we're calling targets, and Sad is not on the same target. We're
He's
calling.
on the Sombra, I think.
He's turning around and he's going after the Sombra back here. Well, it's good that we're on the Sombra. Instead, to nullify what Sombra is doing, we just need to walk forward. Our Arc needs to get inside of the group. Moose needs to sit there and be aware of Arc's HP and know that since there is no longer a Reinhardt on the field, he can bubble other people to save them. And Sad needs to just be playing with Nathan here instead of this. Because everyone turns on the Sombra, Nathan ends up in an awkward place because of it and dies. So we kill the Sombra, but because everyone turns around on that Sombra, Nathan can't turn around as quickly as everyone else and get out. He's not mobile. Knave, you went down here first, I believe. Or no, you died. So we don't have speed. So Nathan cannot leave. He just can't. He's there. You should just assume that. And instead, he gets bullied and dies because of it. Where was the last pack used? Tell me if you guys see it.
He's on the Reinhardt
That's
right there.
trans. Was it?
It was early. It was early. Watch it.
Yeah, there it is.
It was
That
like
was
really early.
that was mid trans.
That was?
No, it's on Chat Noir right there.
Yeah.
Wait, was it on chat
He
when he was
both.
mini
Yeah,
diva?
he used a Baby Diva, yeah.
Okay.
Where
There you
was
go,
he?
Mac.
Where was he when it happened?
Right here.
I mean, he's
Oh,
low,
maybe he
but
tried
There
to
it
get
is.
me. Maybe he just
There it
missed
no,
it.
no, he
Yeah.
was going
Chat
for Chat
right there.
because Chat was low. I mean, he was healing a low HP target.
But the
But-
Chad was no in danger of dying, though.
Exactly,
That's all in the back line.
exactly, and Nathan was
You can-
low.
Yeah.
Those packs, I mean, it's just tough. You just really, you have such a vital resource that is gone for 8 seconds once you use it. You have to make sure that it's going on the right target. And in hindsight, you're always going to know what the right target is, but it's just going to take practice to understand what the right target is outside of that, or in fights and stuff. It just takes practice.
Three down.
This, you're calling a Lucio.
I think I was on Ryan, and then Sad calls Lucio. And I tried to swap.
I mean, we've been over this before. I'm just gonna skip through this. Just your guys' target priority is all over the place, and calling just wrong targets.
I'd say that should be.
Look at Moose trying to be a good staff.
Okay, buddy. I want to call out ultimates in chat. You're ruining it.
Me? What?
No, I was gonna call ults if I was on that.
I don't know. Okay, I have amp.
That would have been good.
Pull up, Nathan. Just hold your shield for now. Hold your shield.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay, I have amp.
I got D-Max.
So this is really good here. You're up, you're attacking, you're back, you're attacking. Nathan charges the fuck out of his shatter and big brains him. It was good. That was really good, Nathan.
Do you ever just alpha the fuck
Gracias.
out of the rest of the team? Because I do that, but not as well as you just do.
Wait, how much charge did he have?
You're at
when I
8%
got
here,
mine?
16%, 24, swinging 36.
I think the fire
43,
strike is what
Next fire strike. Got him like. See, look at
60.
that.
Hold up, Nathan. Just hold your shield for now. Hold your shield.
Okay,
Sombra's-
okay.
I don't know. Okay, I have amp. I have amp.
That's demaxed.
How did he get demaxed? Sombra behind?
Off the
Yeah.
Sombra.
Dang, I got it and he had 40%.
And then shield drops and you just say fuck it.
Yo, he really didn't really anticipate that you had Shatter, and because you can see he went for Fire Strike. You know, he didn't keep track of you, so good on you for grinding fast enough to dick on him.
For sure. And then backing it up a little bit here, let's take a look at what everyone else is doing leading up to
Don't
this.
do that.
So we see that the Sombra's behind, we push forward, we know that the Sombra's still behind us somewhere.
Just push
Spamming
just
for
push
her, you hit her.
Yeah.
Cool. Chat is
She's not doing much right now. We can engage.
taking what I told him literally, and he is babysitting
She's still
the
behind.
Sombra, not then.
Hold up, Nathan. Just hold your shield for now.
He's trying to go for this kill on Sombra. What he needs to do, I really need you guys when we're playing against the Sombra to decloak her, understand where she is, and realize that if she's there and you guys into their fucking team, Sombra can't help you, can't help her team if you all go around this wall. You just can't.
I have a couple things I'd like to add to that too.
What?
I just got home.
Hello.
Hello.
What was that, Felius?
I'd like to throw my hat into the ring for this subject too.
Go for it.
Specifically with Diva. I don't know if chat's watching or is gonna see it,
He'll see it.
but here's a little thing. There's so many faults that divas do. Like if there's one that I think all divas need to do is they need to learn to not care that much. So again, like it's 5v6 in the front right now if you're with them, but instead you try and take a duel that you're not going to win and you feed EMP forever. This happens with tracers. This happens with any kind of flanker that a diva just kind of tunnel visions on. So you really just need to not give a shit that the Sombra's there and you need to go. But you also like find a good balance between where you need to stand and what you need to do, because just as your Rhine can't demand too many resources, you can't demand too many as well. And if you're out of mech, your team is like fucked. Like, like there's nothing to eat the fire strikes, there's nothing to eat the Zen orbs, nothing to eat gravs. What?
You said eat the Zen orbs, and my brain went to Harmony and Discord. How?
I wish that's how that worked. Zen would be broken. Less broken.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. So I mean, that's what happened. He tries to take a duel, and instead, you can honestly just say, "All right, Sombra's behind us. Let's go forward. Let's go in," and then you go in. Granted, Nathan is not full HP. Where was the last pack used?
Yeah.
I'm really gonna hound on that pack usage because it's something that needs to be better.
Keep coming, Arc. Don't do that. Arc, don't do that.
Yeah,
Gotta stick
Like
with this.
a good brig can keep her team in the fight for a lot longer than they should be able to.
Speed, go.
She's not doing much right now. We can engage.
No pack. No pack. No pack. There it is.
First pack went on Nathan.
First pack did go on Nathan, but first pack could have went on Nathan. Why'd I go back so fucking far? Now, whenever that happened, whenever he took this damage, first pack. And where were you when this happened?
She's not doing much
You're
right now.
like half. No, he wasn't in pressure, so it's not important to pack there as long as you're passive healing.
She's still behind.
But pack there to get his armor back on.
Pull up, Nathan. Just hold your shield for now.
And the pack usage is fine. I just would have liked to see it sooner.
Got demaxed.
Over armor is good.
Because when I force her out, like I'm not smart, and we need to engage when I force her out. Because all that does is it puts me in an awkward position where I can't let her like shoot you guys. That's also my bad. I'm Shatter EMP here. Yeah. We don't have Arc try to build that and hide.
There's payoff not knowing what the line is. I'm giving you shit.
She's up here. She's looking for
So is Nathan? So is Nathan here?
Yeah, Nathan's
Like
here right
in
now.
voice?
Nathan is was subbing Reinhardt for this map.
Okay.
The EMP shattered
that's
there.
okay. They use Shatter. They use it. They're
Yeah,
probably
took
gonna
control.
have Grav here. They're gonna beat
So
James
do you
and Rally.
play
They
with
have Grav already?
teams a lot?
Yeah,
Like,
they've
is that kind of your thing, or are you just subbing? That's a dumb question.
He's an off tank
I'm
for
on
the team.
this one. Yeah.
Just go forward.
Okay, well, it might not be important to you then, but if you want to take like a big step forward into main tanking, try and realize that a lot more of your game on main tank is positioning and using your brain and knowing how much damage you can take.
Yeah.
I like to think of it as controlled feeding. And I'm pretty bad at goats entirely because I always demand too many resources at once. So really keep in mind, what do I have left? what have they used? Where am I supposed to be? Right? Identify your job in the
Nathan,
fight
why are you
and only do
shielding
that.
there?
Lucio.
I have no idea.
Lucio.
I really don't want to talk more about this map, so I'm just kind of going over little things here. I want to get through another map. But yeah, you're full HP shielding Azaria here.
Did I miss anything important for me here though? That you can remember? I watched the beginning of the VOD also.
It's not just the Diva's job to
Somber Scout?
Somber Scout.
Okay.
In your as the Zarya instead to watch for the Rhine to keep him from getting hacked. So
Okay.
if if you see Nathan start to get hacked or something, you can bubble him to stop it. It's an awkward use of the bubble, but it stops the hack, and then you know where she is. And then Nathan can be more aware and keep his shield pointed towards her more often. Like if she starts the hack lines, you can be a part of the solution to stop it.
By the way, I think why I was holding my shield here is sometimes on Reinhardt, like this is really bad by the way, but sometimes on Reinhardt, I'll like hold my shield just to like get an overview of everybody's position. I think
There's nothing
that's
wrong
why
with
I was
that.
doing it.
It's just right here. You could be. It's a nitpick, honestly. I'm not too worried about it.
It's like a bad habit, I think.
If you do it too much, then sure, but I don't think it's that important right now. Also, about the bubbling thing, that's not horrible, but I feel like it's a bit of a waste.
It is a bit of a waste, but it's better than your end getting hacked and then a shatter.
I mean I mean more like that's very situational use.
You say that, but there were 4 instances on this map that it would have saved them a team fight. Literally.
Only 4 though.
Only 4 out of the 8 team fights that happened. My bad. It's situational.
All right, look. I thought there were more than that. No, I didn't watch your VOD.
Like,
you just asked me to be here, bro.
I did. Thank you.
If you feel like
what I'm saying is, you would have gotten value out of it here, rather than Nathan getting hacked and hating his fucking life.
He's playing main thing. He's gonna do that anyway.
That's fair.
If you ever want Zarya fun times, just DM me and I can talk to you whenever.
Okay, hold on. Chat's not here, but between me and Nathan, let's settle this here now. Do I just from now on play Diva?
Yeah, I don't have mech. I'll be close.
I don't know.
No. Only
until
when
either one of your Sombras get better.
I mean, I've been playing on my learning Sombra.
Good.
Okay.
Wait. So hold on. So for right now, though, Twig, what's the plan going forward?
Working on what you've been working on. We shouldn't have bombed there. With 3.5 minutes left, we shouldn't have bombed there. We should have backed out and reset.
I shouldn't use Grav there either.
No.
I used it to try to stop them from following up on the shatter.
Which, if you had mech, wouldn't be a bad idea. But you didn't have mech. My literal notes on that were, if no grav, then don't, or if no mech, then don't grav.
Yeah.
Wait for our diva.
Also, this is a little bit off topic, but I have a fun thing. I've been watching a bit of the Owl League, and I thought of I saw the cool little trick that the divas are doing. If it's interesting to you too.
Yeah.
The screening bomb.
Up.
It's like a screening bomb. So instead of going for like the combo, if you know that like they're playing, this is like kind of situational, but if they're playing Ghost as well and they're coming at you with Grav, and you don't want to die to it, you can just drop bomb, and then it's a screening bomb that works.
We brought that up and Twig said, I don't want you guys doing that. He DM'd me. I don't want you guys doing that. In the very beginning of the game.
I don't want them doing that because it's not something that they've been practicing literally ever, and it's a new concept to them. It would come in late. They would already be following up with it, and then it would be a no value bomb.
Alright, so it wasn't that it was not good for us to do. It's that it's not good for us to do right then because we don't know what we're doing. Okay.
It also depends on how your team plays.
We don't really know how we play right now, to be honest. New main thing.
Figure it out.
Yeah, figure me out, buddy.
Are we 6-stack and calm?
I'd love that.
I feel like that's like a ramen thing that we should do.
Would be a
Just in
great way.
commemorates of him.
Yeah. I'm down to do that tonight. We probably don't have 6 tonight, but we can fill the
We
gap.
can do like 3. At least
we-
you, me, Nathan, and pay. Actually 4 with payoff.
And we can try to get Jar.
Jar.
I'll get an
by the way,
alt account.
Moose,
You
We
guys
plan our
can do
we,
it.
we plan our mains, dude.
Wait, your
I'll
mains
pay
are
you.
low
Moose, by
enough?
the way.
Your mains
Oh.
are low enough?
How low are we talking?
Yeah, our mains
Oh.
are low enough.
My main
okay.
or my main is like 2,800, I think.
Oh, okay,
2850.
I'll play at my
Yeah.
alt then.
Is your
Well,
main
it
not low
depends.
enough?
Oh no, it's low enough. I don't know if I want to take that SR hit. Actually,
Doesn't
nah,
matter.
it's
My
fine.
alt
It's
is like
fine.
2,600.
We're not 6-stacking for any SR reason. We're just 6-stacking to get practice. So if we
Yeah,
do it
I'll
on
play
our
my-
mains, we'll play as hard as we can every time, and I think that's worth it.
And you
Fair
should play
enough.
like that always.
Higher than my mains.
Right.
By the way,
Let's not
Moose,
get tilted though.
I don't care in ranked. I
So
just play to have fun.
this fight going into this, a lot happened here and nothing happened here.
Yeah.
You guys trance, which is good. They couldn't follow through. We didn't have shatter yet.
That displaced the Reinhardt, I think. Yeah, they all dropped.
I personally have a lot of issues when we go up onto that high ground. If they hold that choke, I feel like I'm doing nothing on Zarya. Like
Why?
I feel like I feel like all I can do is fucking melt Rhine shield.
And
But,
you
like, I
feel
feel
there's
like-
no value in that?
I mean, there is value, but like it feels like I could be doing something better. And
Why can't you parkour up onto here and right click over his shield?
there you go. That's what I wanted to hear.
It's one right click for self damage and then right clicks over his shield if you want to do non-shield damage. If you have a shatter and you're setting up a shatter, I'd rather you be left clicking his shield trying to get rid of it or pressure him. But if you feel like you're not getting value, that's an alternate way to go about it. Also, when this happens and Sad drops, Sad needs to say right now, I need to hear I'm booped, drop, something like that. Because nobody dropped with him for a while. He mentioned it a couple times, but it was like I fell, some stuff like that. There was no urgency in it. And he is alone here with Reinhardt. You drop, you kill that Reinhardt, you win that fight.
It's true, look
Instead-
at where the whole team is.
Everyone else is kind of like focused on this Lucio. Nathan, you kind of wander over here. Everyone drops that side. This Reinhardt doesn't get away with it, but he gets away with it for too long. No, he does get away with it. That's right. Because he's into his team then. And then Nathan gets pinned to fucking Timbuktu.
Oh, this chat.
Was it?
Oh wait,
I
I
always chat.
shattered after it too. When you charged, I think I shattered.
You end up cleaning up here. Chat needs to go to payload a little bit quicker there. Or Lucio does, or someone.
She's right side somewhere. Can you get him, Seth? Sombra is above us somewhere, right side.
I'm coming back. Do they have another defense?
I don't think they can contest this. Or maybe they will.
What the?
I stream.
Okay, we're
God.
Right
Top
side.
right.
Hate it.
Okay, pausing mid fight is the host's fault.
Armor, do you?
It's not.
How?
It's not.
Literally how? Tell me how.
Yeah, like what's the better solution there for the host to do?
Unpause mid fight.
That's what he ended up doing. Is he was like, okay, I'll turn off the setting, then I'll pause it after the fight's over every time, which is awesome of him, by the way.
How is... Yeah, it is awesome. But
It is
tell
awesome,
me
but
how having a setting pause on DC, the host's fucking fault if someone DC's mid-fight.
He's had that on. He's the one that put that on.
Especially when I told him specifically to make sure it was on at the beginning of the game.
Okay,
I server muted him.
No, don't server mute him. Why?
I'm like actually partially tilted about it. All right, I know you're memeing and I know you're joking, but we just removed people from my team for memeing and joking too much. That wasn't the reason, but they did that. And it got under my skin and pissed me off.
Okay, fair enough.
What I'll say is,
I have shatter. Can we look for shatter?
I just find it funny how quickly the server mute, as soon as he says, God, my lungs are like killing me. I don't know why.
There's a lot that's
Can we
going
look for
on.
boop shatter?
Ready?
Okay, count it, count it.
2, 1. Okay.
I got Lucio.
Nice. Okay, I'm shattered.
There's an awkward shatter. We need to be talking about their ults more often. You guys aren't talking as often as for another match.
This is first map, I think.
Yeah.
Do you mean like
but,
previous games?
Previous games. You guys just aren't
Okay.
talking as much.
Okay.
Previous fights as well. You guys were talking more, but like listen in between the previous two fights.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have Shatter. He might have Shatter.
That's fine. Just leave her. Just leave the Sombra.
Okay. We can't let her farm our divas. What
He's not. Yeah.
I have Shatter. Can we look for a boop Shatter?
Yeah. Ready?
Okay.
3,
Count it.
2, 1. Okay.
He got bubble.
I got Lucio. Lucio.
Nice. Okay, I'm shattered.
We didn't talk about any ultimates they had in between those two fights. We wouldn't have gotten
Yeah.
Shatter. We wouldn't have lost Sad. Nathan could have held his shield to it. We wouldn't have been forced to use trance to keep people alive.
Focus Zarya.
This is dumb, but you know how the Lucio just keeps on going on for cheeky little boops?
Let's engage on their right.
I think that we should have whoever's playing Brig actively look for that. And if they can get a stun, that's great. But if they can't, just call it out. Call out like a position or like anyone really. But I think Brig would probably be the best.
Brig usually is the best for this, and if you listen to me mid game, I brought that up multiple times. We're sad to be looking for that.
Yeah, I've heard you bring it up before today also.
Hmm?
Or before the match, I mean. I feel like Ryan's not getting shot by everybody.
Cause like if your Ryan gets booped in, it's like bad.
Yeah. I keep trying to force
You can also put yourself in better positioning to not get booped as easily.
That's a true statement.
Because if you are here trying to fight a Reinhardt here, you can very easily get booped into their team. If you are here and fighting a Rein here, you can't get booped as easy.
We can bomb Shatter here. That's kind of all we have to do here. We only have that much time. Ready? Let's wait for them to use bubbles.
I have Shatter.
Okay. Hold on. Arc, where are you going? Where are you going? He's hiding.
So here, like, what's going on in our backline here?
Let's wait for them to use bubbles.
I have Shatter.
Okay. Hold on. Arc, where are you going? Where are you going? He's hiding.
I'm gonna look for bomb for Shatter.
Yeah, look for it.
2, 1.
We're just all over the place. It's a great shatter.
Brig. Zarya's in the side room. Zarya
Point.
Yeah, I'm on Zarya.
Nice, okay.
They're Helios, look at their Sombra.
Bomb for Shatter.
look for it.
2, 1.
You see her? I just assume you do. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her go.
Zarya's in the side room. Zarya
Point.
Yeah, I'm on Zarya.
Nice, okay.
Just watched her team die.
Arc's still high.
Top.
She's up.
Yeah, she didn't do anything that fight.
She'll be back. I'm gonna rally in first here.
Yeah, she's up here. She's going right.
Yeah. She's on the good.
There it is.
I got hacked.
I'm shattered. Okay.
Focus.
She was hyper focused on thinking about getting an EMP off his way.
Mm-hmm.
Run. Kill Ryan. I'm okay. Kill Ryan.
That's a very good use of ults from you guys. The reason you guys ended up losing this is because your target focus was bad. A lot of you guys were focused on surviving during this instead of... Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on Ryan.
So we're calling Ryan. Let's take a look and see who is actually attacking Ryan here.
There it is.
So when he pins in is when the call's made. Ryan. Moose here, not doing damage.
I was trying.
Chat is left clicking towards him. Sad is here, not swinging at the Reinhardt. He is swinging at Brig. And Nathan is still coming out of his pin. Now we're all on the Rhine. Or Sad's on the Rhine. You're on the Rhine. Chat's on the Rhine. I don't know what Arc's shooting. I can't see an orb anywhere. I think he just came out of trance, so maybe there isn't one yet. Discord is on the Reinhardt. Why is the Reinhardt not dying? He's inside of you, and he's
I
not
get
being
distracted by something.
not being attacked.
Oh, I was running for cart. That's why. At that point.
Nathan, you have beat. How long during this beat are you going to shield for?
True.
I think it was the whole duration. You can use stuff like that to swing more often. I think I brought that up to you, is that when you have beat, when you're in trance, stuff like that, swing more during that time. Get more value out of it instead of holding shield. First map loss, moving on. Took almost half of my VOD to get here because of scuffed pause times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Felius, that's why I wanted your email. Jesus. This.
It's fucking nuts.
And it's muted because everything I said in between maps I muted my stream for. Most everything. I forgot now and then. Seriously, we're a half an hour into this.
Yeah.
Okay. Lighthouse. The decision was made to run Somber Goats to try and counter out their Somber Goats.
Do you want to go
Reason
to
how
Texas?
how do you play Somber Goats to counter Somber Goats, Moose?
You stay with your team.
All right.
I think to start, no, I think to start we still
Move a
need
mini.
to right.
Now playing, going inside of cage. Going inside of cage here, you want to get here as fast as you can because you don't want to take this wall because it's awkward because of this wall. You don't want to take this wall to attack here because it's awkward because of this opening. You don't want to take this wall because they can flank from wherever the fuck they want to. What you want to do is you want to get inside a cage, play here, or get inside a cage and play here, depending on where the enemy team rotates. You guys, I don't know what happened. You guys just didn't get there as fast as the enemy team did, or you stalled for a second, and they end up getting full value out of cage, and you guys get fucked because of it.
Or
Yeah,
left,
just put it in the
left
menu.
in this
Go-
case.
yeah, just
Also,
just go mini.
watch the Sombras.
Should I split?
For two.
Okay, let's go cage. Let's just fight cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fighting cage too.
fighting it?
We could just
Yeah.
Sorry,
chill,
use a
chill, chill.
Oh, I'm one. Ooh, no.
Yeah, they're fighting.
So I know it's hard to see. I can tell what's happening.
Okay, let's just fight cage.
They walk in. You guys are still here. Their Ryan's here.
Yeah, they're fighting cage.
Their Ryan plays the corner.
Cage too. We could just
Yeah.
chill,
Sorry, use a
chill, chill.
Oh, I'm one. Ooh, no.
Ark just got five-balled right off the bat. I can't tell if you were shielding or not payoff, or if you were trying to swing or what was going on there. If you were
I was
shielding, I
behind
don't think you
corner.
would have died. So
I was behind corner, so I wasn't really.
you
I
were
was just
behind a
chilling.
pillar.
Yeah.
All right, let me bust down some facts.
You can't think of a pillar as a corner because they can just step idly to the side of either one of them. You can use it as hard cover, but it's not
Well, that's.
good protection
what I-
for your team.
I
Makes
wasn't really
sense.
using it as the corner per se. I was using it as like hard cover, like you said.
I get you,
Corner
but
is like.
You have
Yeah.
a whole team behind you.
you have a team that you need to. They're your team. They can't
Yes.
die. You're what's in between them and death. Continue.
Okay. I don't know if you're accustomed to this or whatnot, but before we go much further, and now that we're on the topic of pillars and circles and fun times and shields,
Okay.
you have 2,000 shield, yes?
Yes.
Zen can shoot at that bitch all day and break it eventually.
Right.
So, you also don't want to wrap around pillars, because if you go around it, you die. Because fuck you. Nobody can shoot through that, not even your team.
All right.
So here is what I like to call the footsie game, where both tanks and both teams are jockeying for position to try and push the other one out or kill them.
Mm-hmm.
So right here, you have to be very focused on like trading cooldowns and just not and like holding your ground until something happens, until something big happens. Like you're not the playmaker here.
All right.
Arc getting dicked definitely was the play that they needed to make for them to push onto you. So at this point, you need to realize, hey, we need to leave. Nave, I don't know what you're doing, but you're out here. Try. So in this case, you need to speed out and try and live, I think, right?
Right.
That's just how I see it. But
Right.
point being, you have big pillar man, and you have a big shield.
Mhm.
Hold your ground, don't be afraid, but don't feed. Right?
You got it.
I gotta get food.
I heard that. So, yeah, Moose, you need to be playing more inside of your team. Watch for stuff like this. You need to. A pillar doesn't protect your team. A pillar protects you from taking spam damage. It protects an
Right.
individual, not an entire team. But yeah, you guys, they just push so hard on you because they got a free pick there.
Let's go middle.
Yep.
Sorry, no personal.
Ryan's low.
Summer's by me.
Stabilize. Somber's
Somber's
back.
back, Somber's back.
She's back. Alright, stabilize.
Alright.
I bubbles in two.
Kill Ryan,
So the call is made to stabilize somewhere.
Summer's by me.
Stabilize. Somber's
Somber's
think that gets me killed,
Sorry,
but
for
I
sure.
wasn't holding shield at the beginning, so I was taking a lot of poke damage.
Sombra's behind me.
Stabilize. Sombra's
Sombra's
back.
hacked, Sombra's hacked, Sombra's hacked.
She's back. Alright, stabilize.
Alright.
Bubbles in.
I think we're calling stabilize way too fucking often. Like I don't. I want to talk to
Yeah,
Chad
I think-
when I do a one-on-one with him, but I want to know what his idea
I think
of
his reasoning there was
stabilization
just
is.
that payoff took a shit ton of damage really early.
Well, that's fine and all. He calls it in losing fights. Like he calls it all the time. I want to talk to him. I just want to ask him why he's calling it, so that we can
Okay.
figure out what's going on, and then we can figure out what stabilize means for night ops and what it means for you guys and what you can use it to do. For Revelry, stabilize meant back the fuck out, leave now. That's what it meant. It meant hide. It meant get out of line of sight. Make sure that you cannot take any damage. That is what it meant for Revelry. Were you guys using it in situations where that clearly can't be the purpose of the call? So I just don't know what the purpose of the call should be for you guys.
Bubbles in 2.
Kill Ryan, focus, Ryan. Yeah, okay. Ryan. Ryan's hacked. Ryan. Sorry.
You guys are even right now, or
We
Ryan's
can get
coming back,
Lucia, we
right?
can get Lucia.
Goose is the only one talking. Ark and Nave, I really need you guys to talk more often in situations like that. Even if it is just parroting the target call.
Call bubbles.
Is that a good solo shatter?
We're good.
Just getting the brig out of the fight.
I'm on you.
Sombra's hacked.
I
You
don't
could have
know.
more value.
You could get more value out of it. I mean, there's value in it. You could get more value out of it.
Lucia.
Okay.
Still Lucia.
Yep, he's 1. Go for it, break. There's a Ryan on our break.
Like we could have comboed
He's very low.
and gotten like a 100% team fight win for 2 ults instead of a potential like a 1 pick for 1 ult, you know?
Well, one pick is technically a team fight one if you guys play it properly.
Yeah.
In this situation though, instead of using it there, like
Alright.
so you see when you're coming up, you know that there's one on point because Nave's fighting one over here. You see the Zarya, you see the Brig.
Right.
Couple more frames, you ult. If you had just walked on a point and ulted that direction, you would have gotten 2 instead of the 1.
Alright.
Granted, the Zen dies pretty quickly there because of moves. But the Zarya would have been down on the ground.
Lucia.
I always say, like, a rule of thumb, if you're unsure if it's a good ult or not, is
He's very low. Okay, he's dead.
typically you want to try and get 2 people with your ult.
We don't shatter. We can look for EMP to
Right.
clean up.
2
They're
is
gonna
good
have their
value.
EMP. They're gonna have their.
I heard it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna EMP early.
You guys do some good talking about what else they're going to
They're
use.
high ground.
Yeah,
They're
you
high
just
ground.
don't really make a plan against it too often. You just talk about what they have. You don't say, all right, let's transfer EMP, let's beat for shatter. You don't make plans like that. You just talk, hey, they have this.
Kill break.
So just try and make plans like that more often. Like, hey, if they rally in, I'm gonna rally, or I'm gonna rally preemptively. They'll probably rally back. Let's try and pick her early to get more value out of our rally. Or let's talk. All right, they have grav this fight. I want to trans grav to keep people alive. All right, that means that I'm going to beat
Yeah, I almost have
EMP then.
They're main, low ground main. They're beating in.
They're
You can beat
okay.
here.
They're gonna look for
Beating. I beat.
Yeah.
The more often, that's a good grab there. I don't know which one of you two grabbed first, but whoever grabbed second, it was a very good grab because it separated the 2 teams, caused chaos.
I think it was chat. Grab second.
Still around here.
Lucia's hacked.
Lucia.
Sorry. Okay, nice.
Break.
Kill. Zen. Now break.
Break dead.
Okay.
Nice.
Sombra.
I killed all of them. Oh my god, I killed all.
Dave killed 3, Jar killed, by the way. Oh, Jar killed 2, never.
I got you.
So,
It was
yeah, I mean, just the more you talk about stuff like that now, like making plans for what they're going to, making plans for how you want to combo stuff like that, the better we can, the more second nature it becomes, so that you don't have to talk about it later. So payoff here, what I would like to see, instead of
Yeah.
swinging randomly on point, waiting for them to come contest, meet them right here, and you see the Lucio coming in, you see the Rhine coming in. You could shatter right now and hit both of them because the Lucio is close enough to ground. You might not hit the Lucio, but you'd hit the Reinhardt off point. One thing you can do is meet them, use that shatter preemptively. If you have Grav, use that to keep them off of point. You don't have to win by killing them. You can just win by making them C9.
I think I solo shattered Ryan.
You did, and you got value out of it. Died.
Nice.
Better. That's better.
Yeah.
I like Rhine goats for both of these maps, but on well, I don't think that should be our normal play.
I think you played it wrong, personally. And maybe it shouldn't be your play, but you guys, as a goats team, played goats against bunker wrong.
We'll talk about it later, though.
Yeah, when we're on that map, we will.
Let's just play here.
Summer's out.
I think two of us get picked in that small room where payoff is right now.
You
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
You
I
take
don't
a
know
lot of
why.
damage.
I'm back. Lucio's one. I'm hacked.
Yo, Ryan's low.
What killed us? Zarya? No.
Just spam
Reinhardt
spam
going
of
down.
damage.
Lucio's hacked.
Yeah.
That point. That's okay. Yep. 7-year idiots. I don't think anyone else will be pretty close. We use that. It'll be about 6 or 7.
Close to shatter, but not too much.
Yeah.
So payoff here. This is what I'm talking about. Are you just taking damage and not shielding? Watch what you do in this doorway right here.
Let's go through main here.
Okay.
So you come up to swing, do some damage, back off, and then you're swinging at them. You're not using your shield at all during. You're not doing any damage because of how far away you are. You're not utilizing your shield. Of just getting 5-balled for it.
Hold your shield there, dude. I'm just gonna die.
Just make sure that you're incorporating your shield into your kit because it is a part of your kit for a reason.
Alright.
Not so far left. Okay. Alright. Try to play a little safer here, playoff.
Ryan definitely has shatter.
Yep, they'll keep for
Knave survives for the longest time over here.
Yeah.
EMP coming in. Ryan's hacked.
Run.
They didn't have a diva, right? Who would have? Who's gonna shoot me?
I bubble.
Shattering.
Sorry.
I don't know. You just survived for so long up there.
We're done. Feeding. Keep you up. I'm gonna grab in one. Grabbing. Sorry. Sorry, dead.
Did you guys have an advantage here?
Yeah, we took out. Oh, we traded.
Trade.
Sorry.
We shattered. Feed it, grabbed.
Okay, so yeah, the grab is justified there.
Yeah. We
Payoff,
should've
I'd like to
focused
see you
Ryan.
pin into that.
I don't think I had pin on cooldown. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I don't think I did though.
You counter shatter. You counter pinned. Right here. Or before that. Yeah. Right.
No,
That
Jar
was
did.
Jar. That was Jar. Never mind.
Yeah. I think I was just coming back from. Aren't we just coming back from spawn?
Yep.
No.
No, it was
Wait,
a while
yeah,
ago.
Goose was the only one.
This was an
who was
extended.
out.
Whoa. This was an extended. This was an extended fight.
I think maybe because I lost shield, I didn't want to pin into it. Maybe.
EMP
Let's see
coming in.
though.
Ryan's hacked.
I don't know. Either way, you should have pinned into it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was pretty low.
Sorry.
Maybe I get healed up.
No, you pinned right there.
Sorry.
You get booped backwards,
Mhm.
and then you pin into this wall without getting anyone. So that, I mean, that's part of what I said of swapping your pin binding. Just make sure that you're getting value out of it. It's not that bad that you pin there because it was right after a shatter. However, I'd like to see you swing onto your shatters instead of pin onto your shatters because you'll hit
Yeah.
multiple targets and you won't displace targets as much, so your team can kill them as well.
Right.
But in this situation, when we grab here, we get one more pick on them, and then they are trancing. There is a brig that is inside of that group.
Alright.
You can pin her.
Yep.
No, wait, no, brig died first here. I'm lying. I believe it
Read
is.
that a while back. Lucia?
Lucio.
Yeah, I believe it's Lucio
Zen.
that I'm thinking. The Lucio turn. Well, you don't pin the trance unless you're taking it far away so that
Yeah.
kill him. But you can pin the Lucio out of that and get that free pick, and then like that's what you should save your pins for is a guaranteed kill. If you
Right.
don't know if you're gonna get a kill, You're either gonna get a kill, you're not gonna hit anyone, you're gonna go past all of them, or you're going to get counterpin and murder. Like those are your 3 outcomes. So make sure that you're getting a kill out of it.
All right.
So in this fight, where it was a one fight from a while ago, I want to bring this up in my notes. I didn't bring it up to you guys. I wanted you guys to play more unified. But Knave, like right here, when we're cleaning up fights and they're running away from point to try and survive, like up there, you can go to point, Knave, and you can start
Okay,
contesting.
that's
point.
where I was going, and they were like, "No, come back and taxi me." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
That's why I turned back. So I was
If you
just
guys had
listening to their
gone
call.
earlier, so right here, when there's 3 of them left here and there's 5 of you standing here,
Actually, it's gone.
this is when I would have gone personally.
All right.
Because you beated for them. You don't need to give them speed or anything else like that at the moment. They have the advantage, health advantage.
I could have
don't know
capped.
how payoff is so much lower than everyone else here. You could have started the cap process.
Yeah.
No, that's more of a micro thing. Don't do that as often. Oh, there are 4 of them over there. It's the
They
Sombra
lose
that I was thinking
4v4,
of.
so.
And their Zen's backing out too.
Yeah,
I
this is
feel like
when
that
I
was
was
my
going to
thing.
point. Yeah, this is when I started.
That was a bad charge I did.
I have no idea where you ended up.
Okay, so I went like towards spawn to get the Ryan that pinned. Because Ryan's gonna pin that way.
Yeah, pin chat.
And you,
So I'm all, I got follow.
Yeah, pin less often. You come on a point, you clean it up, but it's 88% now.
Yeah.
And they cleaned you up because they didn't use hardly any ults in that last fight, offensive ults, and they cleaned up on you guys. I remember that one.
I don't know what chat meant by that.
Okay,
we had
let's talk about that then. So in this situation, we're talking about EMP Shatter. Look at how close you are.
Yeah.
You were so close. So you need to be throwing a fire strike. You missed. That's fine. So if that's the case, you need to not let them initiate on you, because this is exactly what I talked about in text channels beforehand. If you know that they have EMP, you need to pull the trigger on the fight before they can pull the trigger on the fight. Otherwise, you lose.
We should have
you guys
EMP'd first.
didn't do that. You backed off. You're chilling over here. Somebody's up over here. Somebody's right here. Who the fuck is up here?
Lucia?
Yes, so then, okay, that was Arc. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine for you to be up there. It looked like Moose for some reason, but I saw Moose over here. Really confused.
By the way.
So yeah, like there's no reason for you to be coming over to here. The call needs to be made. Like if you guys are talking about the ultimates that they have, know that they have EMP Shatter and Grav. You know that. So you need to be pulling that trigger on that fight sooner. The second you miss this fire strike, you just need to call push, push, push and get up in their face so you can smack him once. Boost, you can pull the trigger on that EMP whenever you want to, even if he doesn't have Shatter yet, because he is so close he's going to get it. It's like nanoing a Genji when he is above 90. You're going to dash through one target, get it, and hit.
Okay. You ready?
No, 98%.
I'm back, by the way.
Okay, 3.
I have it.
I'm hacked.
I can't.
Yep. You guys needed to push in on them sooner there. So you needed to pull the trigger on them first. That's exactly what I was saying. It's your favorite matchup, Felius.
Oh god.
This map can suck every inch of my ass.
I agree.
This is a struggle here.
Amen.
They're rotating around.
They're so split apart that I didn't know.
Oh, that's Sombra.
So this, you shouldn't have done this. Going forward and then going back, what you should have done is just stuck with it and played Ring Around the Rosie until one of them was behind. Until one of them was caught out because of it. But if
Yeah, and even if we're playing Ring Around the Rosie, we're still getting value because they're not going to be able to stand behind their fucking shield ever.
Exactly.
I'd have to agree with that one.
You agree with that one?
Yes, I do.
Like what you can do is you can continue to play Ring Around the Rosie until you get close enough to them. Because if their Lucio's doing like cheeky shit like this, they don't have speed. You guys do. So you will eventually, theoretically, catch up to them to the point where they will be here trying to rotate over to here when you guys are here. You will either catch them off and you can push through their shield into them, or you can continue around once more, which I recommend, and come up into them and meet them over here where there's not going to be the boot potential.
And while we're talking about that, I'd like to add something. So the reason why that's good is because you're forcing resource use before they're all ready to do it. Orisa Hog is very static and it's very dependent on getting cooldowns at the right time, right? If you're forcing them to rotate uncomfortably, they will eventually run out of defensive resources and have to take a fight somewhere. You don't, because you're goats. You just live and you exist purely to drain the blood of the enemy.
Very true.
So pretty much hit W, but be smart about it, and pretty much just storm Normandy.
Very true. But instead, you guys end up very split here. You end up all over the place trying to come back into them. They're reset up on the other side, and you guys are trying to walk next to the pit.
I'm assuming we go outside of like not outside of point to play Ring Around the Rosie.
Yes.
Okay.
When
Go
you were
around
at the very beginning, when you were trying to take point for the first time here, if it is bunker, go away from wherever they can knock you in constantly until you catch them off and hit them.
Mm-hmm.
But
And they
even
get,
when
like-
you go into them, you have to be mindful of the pit. You have to think about the Lucio. Nobody's gonna kill that Lucio for you every time.
And the trigger on that call to push, whenever you're making the rotations like that, the trigger is whenever you see like the Orisa use pull, or you see the Hog use hook. Flail, they don't have a Brigida, and the only other thing is the Lucio, which you can watch, I guess. But the instant you see them use their defensive cooldowns to try and get a hook into the hole, you just go. There's nothing stopping you at that point besides the Lucio. And if he's big brain enough to be in the position to kill all 6 of you, then fucking good luck.
So I want to talk about this. Chat is leading the charge. Ryan is right here. Ark is right here. Nave is right here. Moose is right here.
Easy
Why?
hooks.
Why?
Yeah.
Easy hooks.
That's my bad.
Get close. Group up. Then push. But do that quickly. Don't take too much time doing that. Where's Sad? Like,
It's Jaren.
okay, where's Jar?
I'm with the team.
Okay, so it's a group of 3 supports. The tanks are already out of line of sight because that doorway is right fucking here. They're already out of line of sight of their supports and just go tunnel vision. Can't do that. Gotta stay as a group. Otherwise, payoff gets booped again. I heard Ark say we need to kill the turret on top. You can shoot at that too, Ark. Everyone can. Just call turret up top. Turret on building. Turret on this building. Then Lucio, you, Zarya, anyone can shoot at it.
Diva would be better here, I think, since we're running like Torbjorn McCree.
I think a lot of stuff would be better here. But I don't think that
That's not the problem. Comp isn't the problem. I'll tell you that much.
I think that we just played it the wrong way, regardless of what we played.
I love hearing chat's tone just slowly get from like PMA to like passive aggressive. I love that.
Yeah.
Yes, a diva would be better because you can damage. You can DM when the hog hooks someone. You can DM the Orisa pull. You can knock the Lucio out of position. This push here payoff. This one was your fault.
Yeah.
Because you just tried walking right at them. That you have to try and go around. If there is, think of it. I always think of it like a war simulator. If there's a ridgeline or battlement that has a bunch of snipers or people with rifles shooting at you, you're not going to walk through the open field up to them. You're going to walk through the trenches, cover your heads, get as close to them as you can. Walk through buildings to get as close to them as you can before closing that distance. Your only weapon is a knife and they've got a sniper. You don't want to be standing out in the open.
All right.
I think of Goat's a lot like that, and I've tried to pound that into Felix's brain every time that I brought it up to him, but you can't walk straight at the enemy team and hope for everything. A lot of Goats is positioning and how you take your fights. So for here, if you rotate up into this right side and they rotate over, to continue your rotation over to come into them, especially since they just use their shield. If they just use their shield and you see them place that shield, you can call for an amp here once you reach this area and push through, and they won't be able to rotate their shield in time their face and likely kill one of them because you're goats. If you focus targets, everything.
Right.
But
ready?
this is the bad thing here is you guys all just kind of
There's-
also
no,
moose.
this might no. I can explain if you want, but the reality is they just fucking potatoed a little bit.
I mean, you also I mean I know exactly what happened there. I remember, but it's
Yeah.
you place your translocator to try and translocate into the middle of them. Hopefully,
Yeah.
You-
Yeah, and I was out of line of sight of them. I was just throwing it over a wall.
Okay, then
And
nobody
they
nobody called the rotation then. Yeah, then nobody called the rotation, and you have to play line of sight to see that.
Yeah. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
I see it go through there.
Where?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. It was this
Yep. I'm grabbing him over there.
Oh,
Like-
sorry, I had to keep.
Grabbing him
Reset,
over there.
reset,
We're not
reset,
calling
reset, reset,
targets.
reset,
This should be near our spawn. Near our spawn.
Okay, focus targets.
Nice job. Yo.
Torb set.
Hey.
Two heals hot.
Okay, you guys win one. This fight isn't the one I was talking about. It was the one where you stand like right here and you just get booped. Like right
Yeah.
after someone says watch for the Lucio.
Yeah.
Lucy's above.
That tilted chat off the planet.
Quadruple kill.
Shot for the Lucio boops. Lucio's gonna
Oh,
live
please
to
tell me it
it.
happens that way.
Oh my god. That's why I called that. You gotta listen.
Rip.
Okay. I'm sorry. Right side.
Yeah, that Zarya needs to die.
Zarya's hacked. Kill Zarya.
Hmm?
She's hacked.
Hey. Lucio's
Okay, if you see that, just hit W on her. That's what I do.
Ryan.
The
Oh my
Lucio
God.
just has free reign. Sad wasn't watching her at all. I mean, granted, it can't be just Sad's job to do it. Everyone needs to pay attention to where the Lucio is. That's part of it.
We haven't played pair. It wasn't set in.
That's fair. Then it was Jar that needed to look for it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's the Brig that needs to look for it. I just said Sad because Brig.
Sad and Brig are 1-1.
That's why he's sad.
I think we had a pretty good defense on Volskaya. I think so, at least.
And Volskaya
We'll
on
take a
first
look
point.
at it. I'm not gonna spend I'm not gonna go really in depth on it because technically I should be starting my lawnmower and mowing right now. Why did I skip back so far? Hell happened.
Do you want me to do it,
QGG
Twin?
happened, dude.
What? What'd you say?
Do you want me to do it while you mow your lawn?
No, because I'm recording it. If you could mow my lawn for me, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm on my way.
Okay.
Actually, though.
No, he lives in Texas.
Oh,
Like
The
Georgia.
fuck?
He lives
I'm
in
like,
Georgia.
what?
Hello?
I'm like,
Who
what?
is this guy? Lives in Texas. Please. My yay sauce is a little bit different, so.
I believe that's called barbecue.
Oh yeah, this was 10-minute halftime.
10-minute halftime? What the fuck?
That's exactly what I said, and they all shit on me for saying that.
Also,
Yeah,
they're
I don't understand why that's
DC'd
that much.
1,000 times on Blizzard World. I was
No.
there for that.
They wanted to continue. I wanted to take the full 10 minutes to reset.
That's
But
fair.
10 minutes is the maximum amount, and if both teams are okay with skipping it, you can. But I was one that wanted to keep it.
Come on,
Do
bro.
do you guys have like any de-stressors in like mid-match or something?
I should go
I,
take a walk.
I go chill on my couch, walk up and down the stairs once, get some water.
See, my team's version of that is bullying me relentlessly.
We used to do that with ramen.
Yeah,
Just bully
that's
the
what
main
he-
thing.
That's why he hates his life.
Yeah, we can't do that to payday or payoff yet though.
Payday? Okay, but
Also,
Same.
payoff. If you want my help, just tell me, and I'll do my best for you, bud.
are you a main tank player?
I'm like 3,900 flex tank, so yes.
Okay. You can
And are
boost
you-
me later.
Smiles.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We could do some stuff together.
I'll hit you with them straight facts.
Yes. You're gonna be like my top 500 friend. Don't charge in, you fucking 5 brain.
Two
He's-
head.
Yeah.
No, there's no comms yet because I goofed. My bad.
Yeah.
Idiot.
I like this place where we hold though. What do you think?
Holding there, I mean,
I like
Me-
it better than a buff.
Alright, so
'cause then our
actually, I
Zen
want
can
you
hide.
guys playing Winston Goats here, but I didn't want you playing Winston Goats against them. Because if you're losing your Rhine Goats against them, you're going to lose your Winston Goats against them. Because Breeder Rabbit is a better Winston than he is.
But what if their Zen was just really bad in floats, you know? Captain's kind of getting rolled on the stream. Feels bad.
We're going over a VOD review, buddy.
It's pretty much just nothing going on right now, buddy, old pal of mine.
All
What's
right,
going
buddy.
on? I mean, bro,
Playing this corner here is very smart. That's exactly what I want you to do there. Maybe shield a little bit more when you're taking that corner. So you're swinging, backing up. Like, just don't hold M1. You should putting your whatchamacallit in there often.
I have a question. You'll see it later, but XYS gets smart at some point, and so he basically goes behind the team, expects me to fucking decloak and hack him. He just is there and shoots the Ryan until I do, and then he'll flick onto me so that I like can't get the hack off. What can I do to prevent that from happening? He was standing underneath the high ground, so I couldn't get the hack on him from above either. You'll see when he gets there.
Yeah. One second. I have to send a message to someone real quick.
Sure.
All right, we're good. Someone was just trying to advertise through the Rose League, like just DMing random teams through the Rose League, trying to advertise their own league. Everything to that is a we brought this up before on how this was an overextension, pushed hard. Half your team backed off. Sad was nowhere. The rest of your team was here and they stopped. Part of being a leader, turning around, seeing if your team is following you, seeing if your team is going to follow up. Especially since you stopped and backed up, I didn't notice that. So this is definitely an overextension because right here, stop and like hold this corner and hold your shield up. Which for goats teams, that's a all right. We're backing off. We're fine. And then you're like, nah, I'm gonna go into this mega room and kill this Reinhardt that clearly
That's what
just
I
got
call.
this mega.
I call Ryan is overextending. Let's push him.
That's cool, but he's not. If you're backed off to here and you're stopped and you're standing here, Ryan is more than 10 feet away from you, around a corner and inside of a fucking doorway right here. That's not an over.
No, he actually peeked out though, like at the doorway. If I remember
Regardless,
correctly.
don't push into small rooms.
You
so that
started
fucking-
holding W before that, so I mean you
Probably
tried,
not.
but you started holding W for it. So
Okay.
he backs off. There's the corner. So right about here is where that doorway is. Camera doesn't move. And you were already holding W before trying to walk up to him. So that can't be
Okay.
the argument for that. Just you
All
have
right.
to make sure that your team is all.
Sounds good.
And if your team isn't following you, then you're overextending.
That makes sense.
That's kind of a fundamental thing of goats too. Is like the only time you can, at least how I see it, the only times you can ever actually call something like a crazy overextension is if your whole team isn't moving and rotating in a good smart unit.
And then I get booped here.
I can talk about this later. Yo, Ark, you actually got diddled. What?
So here the call was made, the Zen. I remember the comms. And y'all attack. Like, you go for that Zen, but there's really no reason to be trying to attack the Zen when there's more important targets that are more easily killable around you instead. This person, side of your team. Granted, that's a Lucio. Maybe not focus the Lucio. But you've got Sad over here dueling a Brig. You've got Nathan shooting at the Lucio. You have Moose. I don't know I can't see any bullet tracers coming from him now. But you all just got EMP'd by this Somber who just showed up. Really trying to kill the Zarya here. Zarya is their team's center of damage here.
This whole time I was like 40 HP.
You were pretty low, and I have no idea who you're trying to focus here. Like watching your beam, you're like, right?
Mainly, I was just holding.
Right here, you're like, oh, here's a Lucio. There's a Sombra. There's a Zarya. There's a Greg.
Yeah.
It might have been my comms. That might have been my comms.
I wish I wasn't scuffed and
Like I don't know for a fact if it was my comms or not, but there's definitely a chance.
Oh, this was muted. My VOD was. It's not scuffed on my part. My VOD was muted because of the music that I was listening to at halftime. They just continued the music like an extra minute.
That's a pretty intense algorithm, though, right?
It is.
Like, who the fuck made that?
Amazon. I'm really surprised that it pulls Korean underground hip hop to their algorithm.
Wait, Korean underground hip hop. Okay, I'm not gonna judge you for that, but okay.
It's really chill music.
I bet. Is it like lo-fi?
Kinda. It's kind of like lo-fi, but you don't have sort of vocal in it, so it's just it's just the rhythm and stuff.
It's like binaural beats.
There's still words in it, but they're in another language, so you don't focus on them.
I see.
So here, I don't think you guys can play this far up. If you know they have ultimates, talked about it at all, you'd know that they have ultimates. But I don't remember you guys talking about what ults they have. The second that happened, you guys are just saying, it's alright, it's fine, it's Volskaya, that happens on Volskaya. But I mean, really, if you guys talked about what ults they had, you could have not hid anyone because you guys used all of your support ults trying to save that last fight on A point, which is another thing you guys can't overcommit ults to a point that is unlikely to be held because
spawn advantage.
Not only spawn advantage, but if you guys commit everything to trying to hold a point that they're not committing as much to, they're gonna steamroll the fuck out of you. Like they are. That's just how it works.
Far left, actually.
Yeah.
Watch out for we go through building, and then we go far left.
Okay.
We can actually go high ground. Yeah, we just all the way into high ground.
You call out when you
Is
want
this
speed.
split up here?
Okay. Give me a 3.
I take blame for that. No, we're just gonna go left side through the choke. Is what I mean. I just didn't want to get boots from Lucio. And I call that out.
Keep going. Okay. Keep going. Keep going.
So why, if you're gonna go, if your goal is to go through here, to come up onto here, you have to come through about right there. Why not take the most optimal path, go through the building? Instead, you swing wide. Come over here. Takes more time to do that, but also the entire time you're crossing this area, you're taking a shield spam, you're taking health damage, your team is dying, the enemy team is building their ults off of you.
We're just gonna go left side through the choke. Is what I mean. I just didn't want to get boots from Lucio.
We're behind. We're just gonna keep going.
Okay. Keep going. Keep going.
Yep.
Get there without anyone dying, really. But
on the island.
in the future, you're gonna get punished for shit like that.
Let's get it, boys. Okay, over here.
Don't get moved out by the Lucio.
That does happen. Alright, let's go. Ready?
I got moved out.
You have to jump.
I'm with you.
Friends one.
Is really just need to pay attention to Lucio. How loud do you listen to your game?
Oh, I need to back.
I bubbled.
We need to back up.
Back. 55%.
I missed bubble.
I got hacked.
Okay, I have no idea how loud that is. Can you hear a Lucio skating on a wall 3 feet away from you?
We can test that.
Because if you can't, you need to quadruple your fucking volume.
They're gonna have EMP.
Because it's a very loud sound. And you just, a lot of this, I know it's happening mid-fights or mid-rotations and stuff, but there were a lot of times that the whole team was half ignoring the Lucio. And you guys need to just be able to listen to the auditorial callouts that are happening.
There's something that happens before this, like we have to make a play, and one of us overextends and ends up dying. Which we're just playing a footsies game right here, right? We baited them out to come to us, right? And then like we punish one, right? And then I build up a shatter, and then someone dies before that.
Sad
Which I
goes
think
in
burns.
really deep here.
They're gonna have EMP. They're gonna have EMP very soon. We got okay.
Alright,
Like, I
needs to fight
pressure.
out.
It's probably my fault too, because I pressured the Rhino out to like literally 1 HP, but then he got bubbled, and then Sad just goes right in.
Why is Sad moaning in my ear? What's happening to Sad right now? Where is
They're
he?
gonna have EMP. They're gonna have EMP very
He's
soon.
inside of the team.
We got okay.
Yeah, wait for it right here. After I pressured the Rhino,
Oh man.
he goes in, I think.
No, he's just sitting here doing nothing.
No, keep
Art
playing, keep
dies and he's polluting comms with shit.
Go Ryan,
We lost our turn. We lost our
Right
turn.
here.
Yeah, he's way too deep
Okay.
inside of them. He's feeding because he's tilted.
Zen.
Get shattered.
Run low.
I'm
Run
hacked.
slow.
Just disengage for a second.
Armor one, nice.
I was already in.
It's just one
Just baby diva and
Just
charge
the Zarya.
Zarya thingy.
Do you ever just let him pull a Sinatra?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Why is it taking you guys so long to group?
all right. We have EMP.
Is there staggered at
Where's
that?
Moose? Moose died last.
All right. We have EMP.
Big grab.
Yeah.
Do they have EMP? Did they use it?
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, we're all here. We can just push it. We have spawn advantage.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Okay, so we should just win with EMP grab, right?
And we're splitting.
They might have beats.
We should have. We knew that they're coming back from spawn. We should have
Make him
walked
drop.
where me and Sad were
I'm gonna
walking.
bash the Ryan when he
back
drops.
in.
I'm gonna bash the Ryan.
But they were going up top anyway, so
Whoop the Rhino away.
not that big of a deal.
Ryan, focus, Ryan.
Alright, burn grab.
Still Ryan.
Yo, break low. Break.
Break, focus, break. We need to trance to keep us alive. I mean, it's too late now, but.
That's what I meant by like we don't go
Yeah.
into use ultimates.
Okay, well.
Okay, so we should just
So-
win with EMP grab, right?
Yeah.
They might
Yeah,
have
you guys
beats.
should have taken this
Going
path
all the way
over
around.
here.
They're playing.
Get there quicker,
Yeah,
take
Make
that
him
ground.
drop.
Because if they come from low ground over here, you guys can back up and take this corner here. And while protecting your, they take high ground, you can push up and get beneath them. And you can put your Zen or whoever in here, whoever to hide from them, so that they don't die. You can put them in there. You guys have EMP grab here. Really, the second you see them up there like that, you're capping the point with 4 people. You can, honest to God, throw your translocator up there, EMP, and grab them to the wall up there. You guys just need to not. I don't want to say pussyfoot because I don't want to be an asshole, but you guys need to not drag your feet when it comes to starting engagement. Engagement is going to happen. If you start it on your terms, you guys are at an advantage. If you guys wait until they do something, you're at a
Yeah.
I'm gonna bash
disadvantage.
the Ryan when he drops. I'm gonna bash the Ryan.
Don't let the defense take ground on your offense.
That right there, we're gonna bash the Rhine when he drops. Why? The purpose of bashing the Rhine would typically be to bully him, try and get some damage on him, try and do whatever. But payoff doesn't have shatter, so there's not a whole lot of value out of stunning the Rhine or displacing the Rhine. Instead, what needs to happen, and we called it, we have EMP grab. We called that we want to do those 2 ultimates together. We instead of waiting for them to drop down, waiting to react to something that they're doing, letting them contest point, we need to just pull the trigger and do it.
Whoop the Rhino away.
Ryan, focus, Ryan.
Ow.
Whoop the Rhino away.
He was
Ryan,
just
Ryan,
outside of it.
That's unfortunate.
Alright, burn grab.
Still Ryan.
But again, they wouldn't have been able to do that if you just
If I just went up there.
got up in their face and did it.
Yo, break low. Break.
Break, focus, break. We need to trance to keep us alive. I mean, it's too late now, but
Yeah, it is. I don't know if you got
use
hacked.
old supports.
yeah.
Yeah, that was my bad. Sorry.
Yeah. They're so split from
Quiet,
us.
so quiet. Everyone is so tilted at this point.
Sombra out. Ryan's
So
hacked.
tired and exhausted.
Okay, rallying in.
I'm pushing on Ryan. I'm hacked.
We'll get there.
Sombra,
Rough games are rough. They take a lot out of you.
Good
Sombra
trans.
one. Sombra's low.
Rhino shatter.
Sombra.
Good trance.
Ryan's half, no armor.
I'm on run.
I'm on Zen's hacked. Zen. Kill Zen. Okay, nice.
Alright, who next?
Sombra.
This is win. That's not winnable.
No.
Alright. Bye bye.
It's rough. I know it is.
That choke or we lose.
Okay.
Are we gonna go over Paris?
I have to. It's a,
Okay.
You never played
Play
Paris.
We
Paris.
never played Paris.
Or not Paris?
Yeah.
Rialto. They banned me.
Rialto was a joke.
Do you really want me to go over Rialto, the only map that you guys won in a 5v6?
It's not
No.
worth it. No.
Okay.
That was a joke.
So, yeah, you guys lost. That's fine. It's not that big of a deal that you guys lost. There's lots of stuff that you can look at, take away from this. Some of you were taking notes. End my stream in a minute here, and then I'll be exporting that to YouTube, and I'll post that link whenever that is done. I want to take this time. Is there any questions that any of you guys have? Specific spots, general questions, stuff like that. Nave, you had a general question earlier about Control Center. Losing a Rhine early before the point even unlocks. It depends on where your team is. If your team is in a position that they can safely fall back, regroup, and then go into the fight, sure, back out, give them that point. They won. They killed your Reinhardt first. They win that point. Don't give them a whole lot of alt charge from it. Now, if your team is already on point, contesting the point, and your Rhine drops, don't turn tail and run. You need to go into them. Call a target, kill the target, call the next target, kill the target. If you guys die in the process of that, die in the process of that. All right?
I think what we should do is like have a target list. Like I'm talking like just general Rhine, then Zarya, then Brig, then so that we all like understand our priority in goats fights. If that makes sense.
I think that we
Yeah.
should have a set macro caller and a set shot caller. Like I think maybe Ryan call macro calls, and then maybe Zarya, since she's a damage dealer, call low HP targets or like people that we want to
I
kill.
don't think that we should have a set shot
And
caller.
like backup.
Macro caller we can have if you want, but we need a backup one. But shot callers, I feel like it should just be if someone's out of position and someone sees it, whoever sees it calls it.
Did you read that thesis payoff?
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
Okay. It specifically says the entire team is responsible for recognizing a trigger, recognizing an opening, and executing on the opening. The entire team is responsible for that. That's what you mean by a shot caller. Calling out who needs to die, when people need to die. The entire team needs to be on the same page for that. And having one person call something, the rest of the team take the time, turn and look for the thing, and then attacking the thing, and then someone else calling it, or the one person calling another target, team looking for them, then attacking the target. It's better. It promotes bad habits of the rest of the team becoming complacent and just listening to somebody rather than trying to make decisions on their own and think for themselves and understand why we're attacking those targets at the same time.
Right.
So
In team
sure.
discussion, is that a good rotation, like of what we should focus first in fights? Like I'm not talking about like if either one of those is out of position.
I
I'm
mean-
talking like if they're in perfect position, that is what we focus. Like, in.
Ryan and Zarya is pretty interchangeable there. It depends on which bubble is used first, where they're positioned. If the Zarya is up the Reinhardt's butt and she uses her personal bubble early to try and get damage, by all means push through the Reinhardt and kill the Zarya while she's right next to the Reinhardt, because you can. She's 400 HP with no bubble. She'll die. And shit, playing against teams in your range, if you do that and your whole team is targeting that Zarya, the rest of their team might think that you're attacking the Reinhardt, and the Brig will pack the Reinhardt trying to keep him alive. And then you don't have to deal with the pack, you just have to kill the Zarya. So it's pretty interchangeable which one you want to attack there, but it's all dependent on what their positioning is. In perfect positioning, when they're all grouped up, they're all in one tight little circle, it boils down to what ability usage they use. It's not a matter of always attack this. It's you're reacting to what the enemy team is doing and what they're letting you do. If she uses her personal bubble early, she's letting you get free damage on her that team fight. If she uses her projected early, she's letting you kill her right and throwing. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. I guess it's gonna take time for people to like notice those things. I guess like
Yeah.
the little things.
But we can absolutely take the time to do that, though. That's what improving is.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. know that that's a. Sorry, brain fart. I agree that having someone dedicated to macro calling where you guys want to push, the pathing you guys want to take, doing stuff like that. Sure, you can do that. I have no idea which one of you should be doing that right now. I'm waiting for one of you guys to step up a little bit, and then we'll work with you a little bit more. I have a video from Toots that I want you guys to sit down and watch. If any of you are interested in what it takes to be more of a shot caller for the team, yeah, go ahead and take a look at this. I'm going to post this coaching question for you too. Send it to one, but it's a take the time, watch like the first 50 minutes. That's when the shot calling section is over.
It says there are 2 views for this video.
That's because it was just made public yesterday.
Ah, I see.
Wait, what time does it start?
Starts immediately.
Immediately.
It's just an hour and 53 minutes.
I didn't understand it when I first did it, when I first watched it, so I just like quit watching after 5 minutes.
That's a great way to do it.
It's like I'm doing math.
All right, I'm gonna end my stream there.